Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for watching. This is video 6 in our Strong Inside and Out series, and we're calling this Contending with Horses. First of all, I just want to apologize for the break mid-series. I don't often do that, but I was in a much needed time of rest, as we discussed in a previous video, where God had ordained a time for me to just draw strength from Him. I was in the midst of a very big physical and spiritual battle, but I'm back. I'm stronger than before, and I'm super stoked about this particular video, which I've been wanting to do for a very long time, even before Strong Inside and Out series was even in my heart and mind to do. Okay, so maybe you're in a season where you feel like you've been training, right? You've been exercising inside and out. You've been overcoming, right? You're making progress physically. You're making progress spiritually, right? And you're like, dude, Lord, you always want more from me. When do I get a chance to just kind of chill here and enjoy the things around me? But instead, more just keeps coming, right? And so this has a similar take to the video we did with training with weights on, but it goes a little more in depth. And so He does always want more from us. It's actually true. I was reminded as I was putting this message together about a dream that I had. And when I looked up, I realized it was almost 2 years ago exactly that I had this dream. I was in a large library, and there was tons of people. I mean, more than you could even imagine or number. And the librarian there was issuing out books to people. And inside these books, I guess, were tasks, like things we were supposed to do. And so I overheard a conversation of her issuing books to a gentleman there. And she said, if you get done early with these books, I will give you some more books. And myself and a few other people around me that heard this, that overheard this, were grumbling and complaining against ourselves, amongst ourselves, saying, that's not fair. What about the fast readers? Okay. And some other things happen in this dream. And I know it to be a God coloration in this dream that I had. And so when I journaled it, I really prayed about it. I was like, God, I want to learn whatever it is you were trying to tell me through this dream. And what came to my heart and my mind was John chapter 15 verse 2, where Jesus is talking about bearing fruit, and he says, of course the branches that don't bear fruit are cut down, right? But the branches that do bear fruit will be pruned so that they will bear more fruit. And so I feel like those books being issued, in other words, in there was, God saying, you know what, even if you are a fast reader, a fast learner, right, you get done early, there's always going to be more books, right? And we can grumble and complain amongst ourselves about how fair or unfair we think that is, right? But the goal of it is we're here to bear fruit. And if we do bear fruit, God does expect more fruit to be for us to bear, right? And so maybe you feel like that. I felt like that. And you know what? Jeremiah felt like that. And then one time I found some very great comfort and encouragement through Jeremiah chapter 12. And so Jeremiah was suffering. He was going through times where lots of things were coming his way. He's feeling overwhelmed. He's complaining to God, and he's questioning God. He's like, why does it seem like the wicked prosper, and why does it seem like I'm being tested more than all these people around me, including the wicked, right? Like you're harder on me, it seems like, than you are on them. And so God answers Jeremiah in verse 5 of chapter 12 with another question, right? And in this question, I found comfort, and I hope that you too can find comfort through this and encouragement. He says, if you've run with footmen, right, flesh, if you've run with people that run on their feet, right, and they've wearied you, how then can you contend with horses? And so it's just this idea that God's saying, I'm training you up for something bigger than this, okay? And so you've got to get this first so that you can get what's coming next. I'm training you for something greater, something higher, right? Okay, and so we often lose focus like Jeremiah did. We get wrapped up, and the enemy loves that. He loves to throw this at us, throw that at us, so that's all we see. We're distracted by it. We're distracted by what's right in front of us and not what's coming, okay? And so it's easy to lose focus on those things, but we have to remember that God is not just, like we talked about in the training with weights video, he's not just training us to run and not be weary, to walk and not faint. He is doing that, but but that's not the end of his work. He's not just training us to do that against footmen. He's training us and raising us up to compete and to contend with horses, right? And horses are super fast. They don't weary easily. They don't tire out easily. They don't faint easily, okay? And so he's training us for something greater. And we have to remember that the battle is not against flesh and blood. That's never what the battle's been for. But if we can't get past this hurdle of flesh and blood, if we can't see past it, we'll never get to the greater that he has for us. And so we need to learn to not be worried by those things, because the greater purpose is coming. And so just like Jeremiah, right, he felt like he was being dished more than most people and tested more than most people. I've been there. Maybe you're there. Just remember that the preparation is for a higher calling. The preparation is for greater things, okay? And just regard it as training. Count it all joy when these trials come your way, as scripture says, and trust him, okay? So that is our word for this week. Again, I apologize for the long break. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. If I don't put one out earlier, since I was on break so long, I was considering doing that. But either way, I look forward to growing stronger inside and out with you. God bless.